All right, Gary, back over to you for Q&A, roundtable discussions, feedback, see how that went, if people had time to put that into play. So we're back over to you and you're muted.
I just put my phone number in the chat if I can do a three-way for something. Okay. Any questions? How's it feel being run over by the bus?
All right, any questions or feedback or I know that there was a lot of information that Gary shared with all of us. Does anybody have any feedback or questions or anything they'd like to say in relation to what he was teaching us about?
Yeah, it was great information, Gary. I realized too late that I wasn't taking notes, and so now I have to go back and watch this again.
So
I didn't get. I actually had to break up a dog fight, so I didn't get a chance to make any calls. But I will absolutely.
It's okay, Juanita. I took notes and I couldn't. I gave up. I gotta go back and listen again. But I do have a question.
Here, Melanie, go ahead.
Yeah, it was fabulous. When you send out the quick draw, do you send it of the product?
It's the stick drawing, the cartoon.
Yeah, is it the one of the product and not the business?
It's the product video, yeah. Yeah, I don't lead with the business. I lead with the product. I always have, and it works really well. That's just my style.
Yeah, me too. So great. The and I guess you send the full length video of the Genesis.
I do the 16-minute Genesis, yeah. And I always tell them that at the end, they're going to see a guy with the most amazing human being they've ever seen. Kind of what happened.
Yeah. Oh, I don't suppose it's possible to put any of your notes anywhere.
It is if I can sit still right long enough and put them on paper.
Oh,
Just watch the recording again, Melanie. That's why we record it. Any other questions or comments this morning?
I did. I had a question, Sydney.
Hey, Copcat.
Hey, Cap. Good to see you, Gary. Hello, Shirley. Listen, you said early in this presentation that you asked some probing questions. Not all of them, but can you give us one or two probing questions so we'll have that too?
Well, the two basic ones are, if you could write a check today to get rid of all your health payments that you just listed, what would that check look like? And there's questions I asked to get to that point, which are like, you know, what's your top two things you'd like to see cleared up in your health regimen right now? And I let them expound on what those are, and I keep notes, you know, on what that is, so I can go back and do those touch points in the close later on. And I also asked them financially, I said, how's your time and money freedom look like? So I asked, and then typically, you know, even if they make stupid, I always tell them, so if they work a traditional base job and they trade time for dollars in a linear 40-hour week kind of structure, I always use this analogy. I always say, so what you do is just like being a brain surgeon. And I always get this like deer in a headlight look, like, what the heck are you talking about? And I say, so, well, you don't get out of bed on Monday morning, go to work. You don't make any money. And the brain surgeon, he doesn't get out of bed on Monday morning. He don't make any money either. But more importantly, he probably has a lot of overhead going on that's going to cost him a lot more money than it's costing you. So then they realize that they're better than a brain surgeon. I have fun with it, make people laugh. I make them realize the fallacy sometimes of the model that they're living within, and that there's another model alternative that they could take a closer look at. It might make sense to them, and if it does, I'm here to help them. So that's kind of how I roll. So, anything, Harrison?
I think Ruth has a question. Ruth?
Go ahead, Ruth.
Oh, Gary, wow. I don't think I've ever heard you speak, and I thank you so much for sharing your ideas. The language that you put together is so value filled. the whole way along. And I just love that. I did place a call to somebody I talked to last week who I got some pain points from. I did offer him a price on it, but I didn't give it to him like you just said. And I called him and said, I messed up. And he said, well, let's Zoom next Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern. So I need help with that, but the language is beautiful and the way you put it together. It's non-shaming, and I love that because a lot of people will feel bad about things, but the way you said it, I'm going to be watching this a couple more times, so thank you.
Where is the recording? I'm kind of new to this whole thing you're doing here, so
You can watch the recording on our Atomic Wellness Facebook page. You can also watch it on my YouTube channel. So you can go and see what you said, because sometimes when you're in the middle of talking, you don't even know what you said, right, Gary? I think Sandra's got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sandra.
I had some difficulty following you a bit, Gary, but I do appreciate it. And I took the initiative and I went through my contacts and I picked out 2 high-profile people that I've been, dealing with for quite some time. And I called them, and unfortunately I didn't speak to them directly, but sometimes it's easier to leave a message. And I said, I screwed up. And I said, I'd like to try and make that up to you. So give me another chance. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, the rescue of I screwed up and letting somebody know I screwed up, people want to pick you back up and dust you off. That's a rescue. That's a sales technique that's been around a long time, and properly used in this position with what we're doing right now, it's fabulous, because all of a sudden you say, you know what, I did know what I didn't know. I love to say that statement because that's everybody recognizes that. But more importantly, you need to talk to this guy because he has some information that I didn't understand that I think you will find quite valuable. That type of thing. So it's just, I have fun with it, and I screw up. I mean, it happens. And Shirley, God bless her, puts up with me. So, by the way, Shirley's, I think, the oldest diamond in North America. She's 93 and her next birthday in December here. So we have an absolutely fabulous time sharing the world with what we do here. And she's my 3-way call. She's on about every call I do with people, and she's fabulous. So if you have an elderly quote population, in some cases, ring her up as well. And she's happy to do these calls. She's fabulous. It's so exciting to have. So exciting to have what Virtus gave us to take forward, to give to people. Give it to them. Give it to them. Just give it to them. And watch what happens to them 6 months later. And watch the stories come back of people's lives being changed in amazing ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Well, great training today. And Shirley, no wonder you're a picture of health, because, somebody cared enough about you to reach out and tell you about ASEA. So fantastic. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Nancy Walker will be our trainer tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, Gary. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, Gary.